Wanted to spend a minute to share with you some exciting news about our company. Want everybody in the company to hear about. We do have a bunch of folks online from all of our locations. A good couple hundred participants. We're also recording this to share with those people that can't make it today, whether they're in the field or elsewhere. I want to start off with this logo. We've seen this logo before. We've talked about it, being together, better together. What does that mean? We're going to talk a little bit about more what that means for us today with respect to this announcement. Also on the screen, you've seen a couple of these things before. Our Pediatric Center of Excellence. We see this in all of our offices. We've shared it with you before. Some people refer to it as the Trivial Pursuit pieces. Some people refer to it as your flower, or you can decide what you want to call it. But all of this is what makes us who we are, what we do every day here at PHS. And there's some really unique things. That is what makes us unique. And as we talk about it with other companies, as we talk about it with other referral sources or providers or our patients, it means something different for every single person. On the right-hand side of the screen, you also see the pieces that we rolled out last September, October, the PHS way. And this is kind of how we do what we do. We are here to make sure if we believe that this PCOE, the Pediatric Center of Excellence, is the best thing on the planet for the kids, we have a responsibility to take that to more children. Being efficient with our resources is inherent in that process. To ensure that we're good stewards of the money that we are provided by the payers, and that's being expended upon our services, so that we can do that. Being efficient has always been part of our guiding principles. Do what's effective and lose the rest, as we've talked about before. And then also being a great place to work is very, very important. Also leading through our guiding principles, right? Work together as a team, starting in with the family in mind, all these things that go to who we are as an organization. I want to jump into this, the yellow piece of our puzzle, the yellow petal, if you will. I tend to call it a flower. The yellow piece. Coordinated multidisciplinary care will focus on the multidisciplinary. Come on in. You can come in. It's okay. Okay. I know it looks like standing room only, but there's a lot of room only.
I don't want to.
So come on in, folks. We're just talking a little bit about the continuum of care, and you see the top. I try to get fancy with it. And I call it our continuum of care because it's purely focused on the pediatric population we serve, those complex children, which is very, very important. Okay, that multidisciplinary, we know at Pediatric Home Service, PHS, that putting together multiple disciplines is better for the family. These children that we take care of are complex in nature and the care that they need, and all of the different disciplines that go alongside that. We know the respiratory services, the DME service, the clinical nutrition, paired well here in the Minnesota market specifically with good nursing, and in other markets with partners of good nursing care. That is great for the families and for the patients. We also know that there's a lot of kids in the hospital that can't come home yet because they don't have nursing services. Okay. We had more nursing services, it would be better for those families. Recently, we shared with you the news that we have entered the Kansas City market with the acquisition of Chair Medical Supply, a medical supply company, a respiratory therapy and DME provider in Kansas City. Today, we're really excited to share with you that we've further expanded this multidisciplinary care process in that market and expanding our services with the acquisition of a company called Craig Home Care. We're partnering with Craig Home Care, which I'm going to go into who they are in a minute. But this is not Craig. Where are you, Craig? It's not Craig Swenson's company, right? So for those of you remote, we have Craig Swenson, who's our Upper Midwest Fulfillment Manager, who whenever Chad is talking to me about Craig, I'm like, okay, I got to pause. Which one are we talking about? But Craig Home Care is a great provider located headquartered in Wichita, Kansas. And I'll talk through what that means for us in a minute, but it is making a major splash into this yellow piece of the puzzle here. I do want to introduce a little bit about each of them. We've shared some announcements. I want to make sure everybody understands who they are. So we'll talk about the why, the patients, the services, the people, and the where here in a minute. Their logos at the top. A couple of things from their respective websites, okay? Chair of Medical Supply, the small company devoted to the smallest patients, okay? Craig Home Care, why we do it from their website, kids deserve better, families deserve a choice. Both of these companies are 100% focused on the pediatric population. Now, like us as well, they have some sneaky seniors or some folks that may not be children at the time, but they are on our services and we take care of them. So, but they are dedicated to the patients, to those pediatric population. The patients, you see them there, the kids, these complex children that need the care for us that we provide. Cherub takes care of about 265, 270 RT and DME patients. Cherub was started by a respiratory therapist, came out of the acute care setting and said, I can do this better for those kids. Those kids want to be and deserve to be at home, and we can build a better mousetrap for them. So Nita Crest started this company to serve the population, those little children you see on the page. They're talking about the smallest kids. They're talking about the smallest kids. And they're talking about those children, right? That without our services may not be home. At Craig, 270 nursing patients receiving nursing services. So that's a lot. Right now in Minnesota ourselves, we have 28 patients or so ourselves. So when I say major splash, we're taking our commitment to nursing services 10 times. Right now, we're really involved in that nursing services, so we know that it's better together. The services, like I said, respiratory therapy, DME services, enteral nutrition, heavy duty nursing, and skilled nursing services. Putting those together will be better for our patients. Now they know each other, they've worked together a little bit. We're looking forward to expanding that as well. Let's talk about the people. Who are they? Oh, heavens. This is nobody's fault but my own because I copied and pasted. So this is some things that they said about Cherub on their website. This is from patient and family feedback. Everyone at Cherub not only cares about their jobs, but they care about the children and their families they do business with. This is why I recommend Cherub to everyone I know. I could go on and on about all the good things about Cherub, but I would have to write a book. That's a pretty good testament, right? Create a caring partner. This is very important. That first line, we are more than just a service provider. We're in the family's home. We partner with our families to make the transition to in-home care as easily and as successful as possible. What we know at PHS about home care, about that HCN, the nursing services, it is a very delicate balance. We have certain type of patient, certain type of nurse, and it's very important that they work very, very well together. And that's something that they have 427 people, employees in the Craig family that are dedicated to doing that matchmaking, I call it sometimes, or that dedication to creating a great partnership between family, patient, and caregiver and service providers is important. 12 employees at Cherub serving those 260 patients, and Craig Home are much more individualized service, more patients there. Where? Kansas City. Cherub is located in Kansas City, suburb of Kansas City on the Kansas side, serving Kansas and Missouri. Craig, 5 offices in Kansas, 2 in Nebraska, and 1 in Missouri. Okay, so we'll talk about what that means here in a little bit, but 8 offices serving those 3 locations, or 3 states. All right, so there's always a map. Let's look at the map. That was kind of fancy. Should we watch it again? So we're adding these 3 states, and you kind of see how we are as an organization, covering that middle America type of feel it's not necessarily a geographic point that's not wasn't dedicated to that. We first look for the highest quality providers in places where we think we can make a difference. What does it mean from a numbers standpoint? We've gone from 14,400 patients to 15,175 patients that have us as a service provider every single month or so, that they're active patients that are receiving some type of service from us in one of our service lines. Some of those service lines are higher touch. Some of those service lines are less high touch or kind of just product only. And so a lot of different numbers are changing here. 295 home care patients, 1,100 medically ventilated patients, 21 locations and over 1,000 employees. There's not 1,000 employees, there's not 1,000 logins yet. Hold on. Not quite 1,000 logins yet today, but recognize we do have a lot of people over the field. So there's a lot of people dedicated to patients, pediatric patients. There's 1,000 people now working for what I view, and I think what we all do, is the best pediatric home care company on the planet, taking care of those kids. Okay, so now what does it mean for us? 4 regions. We now kind of have, by adding these 3 states, we created another region. Previously, we were the Upper Midwest, Ohio River Valley, or ORV, in Texas. With this, we had the Great Plains region. That's just how we are. We'll talk about more of that for a minute. I want to introduce you to a couple people that I've had the opportunity, many of us and the teams that have been working on this have had the opportunity to meet. Up on the screen, Sam Kress, who'll be the general manager of our operations there in Kansas City for the DME and DME services side. His mother was the one that founded the business, Nita. Working together with her to really build that business and take care of those kids. Jessica, his wife, is our manager of account services, both of whom will report to John Reed. John Reed is our VP of operations in the Ohio River Valley. As we continue to grow this, we'll continue to figure out how that leadership process, but Sam runs that market, reports to John. Over on the right-hand side of the screen, you see Sean Balke, who's was the owner of Craig Home Care. Sean is going to be our president of private duty nursing. Sean will report to me as we now have our dedicated business focused on nursing. And we'll work through the integration process. We know that we have nursing here in Minnesota. We'll work through the process of integrating that, making sure that we provide the highest quality care and nursing across the country. So those are the players, and those are some new faces that you'll see. Now, that's not all the new faces. We know there's 427 or 439 new faces that we'll have in the company, but with these individuals come a team of people working that. And that's not only the caregivers, that's other support services, HR, finance, recruiting, talent acquisition, and all the other pieces that go along with it. Some of you may have already begun working along with Glenn and Sam. I know we've already sent some equipment down to Sam in Kansas City as we work through the integration. So Glenn Galloway, who's our EVP of IT integrations, he's on site there with Rick today as we work through some of he's over in Wichita today, but they're down in the Great Plains region as we work through the integration plan. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second, about integration. So wave, hello, welcome aboard, by the way, all these individuals. We're glad to have you here. You know that you can't see everybody here, but we're glad to have you. We can clap, we can clap. I wanted to share, we put together a quick little video. This is a short video that we'll actually do another video here too. The highlights, given that we have a number of a bunch of people in the field, we've sent this to the Craig Home Care nurses as well. But we wanted to highlight some of the similarities of the organization here. So.
Pediatric Home Service exists for one primary reason, and that is to bring high quality care to children with medical complexities in the comfort of their home. Our Pediatric Center of Excellence model is driving our vision to bringing that care to these children. We know that putting multiple service lines together builds a better opportunity and builds a better experience for the family and the patient, and ultimately drives better clinical care, simplifying the care that they receive in the home. In Craig Home Care, we saw a common vision, a vision that understands that bringing together more for the child is better. And now working together, we can see that come to fruition.
From our very first conversations with PHS, we knew this company had something special. The value they place on patient-centric care mirrored our hearts and the way we deliver our nursing. As an organization, we've always said that kids deserve better and families deserve a choice. Underneath this statement is the need for our team to bring more. By joining PHS, we get to do just that. We get to bring a comprehensive care model for our patients and streamline their care. I can't think of anything our families deserve more than that. So we ask our teams what it means to work at each organization.
We think you'll be blown away by the similarity of some of their responses.
Hey Elliot, describe what it's like working for PHS in one word.
Exciting.
Humbling.
Incredible.
Educational.
Outstanding.
My word for working at Craig Home Care is fun.
It's fun.
Gratifying.
Life-changing.
I would say it's phenomenal.
Motivating.
Helpful.
Rewarding.
Inspiring.
Describe what it's like working for PHS in one word.
Rewarding.
Dynamic.
Fulfilling.
Fantastic.
What I love most about Craig Home Care is the connection that we have with our patients.
Opportunity.
Cheerful.
Fulfilling.
Rewarding.
If I had to describe working for Craig Home Care in one word, it would be rewarding.
Life-changing.
It's very, very inspiring.
Cheers, everybody, to our exciting future together.
We look forward to bringing more care to more kids with you.
All right, we'll continue to grow DME in those presences. We also talk about the reverse integration of the services that are provided on the nursing side. But excitingly, though, now we have a meaningful investment, and our board and our investors are all dedicated to nursing services. And this continuum that I replied to or mentioned is about taking care of those kids in multiple ways. We wouldn't do this if we weren't dedicated to that. So we'll continue to think about the other service lines that we can add. I think it's pretty exciting for that. And quite frankly, it means better opportunities for all of us throughout the organization, opportunities to grow with the company throughout. Anybody's moving to Kansas City from Minnesota has an opportunity there. Who wants to be in the dead of winter might move somewhere else. All these opportunities, being better together is very important for us. Thank you. I'll just tell you. What you'll see next, we'll have some other communications. You'll see some public communications. Marketing's already teased it a little bit on our Facebook page I saw today. And then social media, press releases. We want the world to hear about this. We want the patients to hear about this. We'll be communicating with our referral sources. The outreach reps will be doing that as well. The integration plans, I mentioned Glenn on site will be doing those integrations. Certain individuals will be involved in those integrations, and we'll make sure that we give you the advance warning and notice about how that works. Communication is going to be critical during an integration process. Co-branding, Craig will be co-branded with the logo that you saw through October, and we'll move to a PHS process. We have a very sophisticated, I would call it sophisticated, but a very, very sequential and scripted co-branding process that we've done before, and we'll continue to do that. Cherub will move to the PHS brand relatively quickly, starting next week. And we'll do that. So I did promise to talk a little bit about what's next. All right, tell everybody who you are. You're from this light blue state up there.
I'm Shelly. I'm from Iowa. I'm going to be running the Des Moines office.
She was here visiting. I was walking past Derek's office. I introduced myself. next thing you know, I was in this big conversation about the Iowa State Fair and all the other things. And so apparently Iowa State Fair versus Minnesota State Fair, there's a thing. There's buckets of cookies at both, and I'll have to figure that out. But we continue to think about taking more care to more kids. And if we can just hit that little animation for me. Anyway, they wiggled. So Iowa's next. We'll continue to roll out in Iowa. We do have infusion pharmacy in Houston that we're also launching. Expect to see those announcements coming soon. Again, the referral sources are asking for more. We're providing more for those services as well. So that's exciting. You hit the next slide for me. Great. Again, just a reminder for, just hit one more thing. We continue to grow. We continue to put more flags on the map, and it's all about taking more care to more kids. Every time we go somewhere, we think about what are the patient populations that we serve? Where do we go? There's some dots. The dots aren't relatively pointing at anything. I'll tell you, there's not a gigantic children's hospital in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. There just isn't. Beautiful there, but there's not a children's hospital there. But we'll continue to go where the children need us to be. If we, again, going back to that PCOE, if we have the best thing on the planet, we have a responsibility as clinicians, as people that are dedicated to the children on the walls here, we should be taking that to more kids as fast as we can, as appropriately as we can, while maintaining the culture and the excitement that we have for that.